Welcome to SPR IAS Academy. In our today's video lecture, we are going to see about the Hindu newspaper analysis of 27th December 2017. This is the page number 1 of Hindu newspaper, and this page contains two important articles. This is the first important article, and this article is discussing about IAS officers. Right now, the Union government is employing around 5,004 IAS officers all across the nation, and the Department of Personnel and Training is the nodal agency for these IAS officers. Earlier, the notification issued by the Department of Personnel and Training in the year of 2011, dated as April 4, has clearly stated that whenever an IAS officer is failed to submit the immovable property returns, then the vigilance clearance for such kind of officer can be denied by the Department of Personnel and Training. Thereby, that particular officer can be denied of the promotions as well as the foreign postings. So in this scenario, recently the Department of Personnel and Training has asked the IAS officer to submit the immovable property return by the month of January 2018. That is, the last date for submitting the immovable property returns is January 31, 2018 for IAS officers. If suppose the IAS officers have failed to submit their immovable property returns, then the vigilance clearance for such an officer is not provided. As a result, that officer will not be eligible for any kind of promotion or foreign postings. That is what all about this article, and now let us move on to next article. This is the second important article of this page, and this article is discussing about the functioning of lawmakers as a practicing advocates in Supreme Court or High Courts. Recently, a plea has been submitted in front of the Bar Council of India to ban the lawmakers from participating as a practicing advocates in judiciary. It has stated that the practicing of lawmakers as an advocate will lead on to the violation of the Advocates Act, as well as it will lead on to the violation of the Bar Council of India rules. In order to rectify this issue, now the Bar Council of India has appointed a panel to look into this issue closely. The plea has also stated that the lawmakers, that is the MPs and MLAs, were drawing their salary from the Consolidated Fund of India. As a result, these lawmakers were the employees of the state. And this plea has also stated that under the section 21 of the Indian Penal Code and under the section 2 clause C of the Prevention of Corruption Act, these lawmakers were designated as the public servants. But according to the rules of Bar Council of India, that is the Bar Council of India Rule of 49, the salaried employee from the Government of India as well as the public servant were banned from practicing as an advocate. But at present, many of the practicing advocates in the Supreme Court as well as in the High Courts were the party politicians. So it is in violation of the Bar Council of India rules. And also, in general, the public servants were barred from practicing in the judicial activity. That is, the public servant were not allowed to act as an advocate in general. If suppose we are allowing the politicians to be an advocate but denying the other public servant, then it amounts to the violation of Article 14 and Article 15 of the Constitution of India. So as a result, it is a huge issue and it have to be addressed. Another one of the major issues is these lawmakers were also participating or acting as an advocate in cases which were filed against the Government of India. As a result, it amounts to the conflict of interest. It has to be addressed. And it has been expected that the lawmakers have to dedicate their life full time to the public and their constituent ahead of their personal and financial interest. So that is what all provided in this article, and now let us move on to next article. This is the image caption given in the page number 1 of Hindu newspaper. This image caption clearly shows that the stubble burning is still carried out in the states of Maharashtra. Actually, the stubble burning or the crop burning is one of the major reasons for the air pollution issue. Recently, the North India, especially the National Capital Territory, that is New Delhi, has faced the severe air pollution issue. The reason for this air pollution issue is number 1, the stubble burning, number 2, the vehicle pollution, and number 3, the construction dust. Of the 3 reasons, the stubble burning is the major reason. The stubble burning is the practice which is still carried out in the states of the Punjab, Haryana, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh. This is a primitive mode of agriculture. Due to the pollution it results, and also due to the heavy amount of the environmental cost as well as the soil fertility reduction, the Central Pollution Control Board has ordered the state governments to make sure the banning of stubble burning in their respective states. Even though the state governments have banned the practice of stubble burning, but still the stubble burning is carried out in many pockets of the North India. Whenever the smoke or dust which is created due to the stubble burning is mingled with the winter season, then the resulting scenario is very much worse. It will affect the entire air pollution or air quality of the North India. As a result, many of the children as well as the old age people or elderly peoples were severely going through the health effects, and the air travel as well as the railway travel were completely blocked due to this pollution issue. So the government have to take alternative steps to prevent the stubble burning, and also they have to educate the farmers regarding the harmfulness of the stubble burning. That is what all about this image caption. And apart from that, from the examination point of view, you have to note down the Namdur Madhameshwar Bird Sanctuary is located in the Nashik district of the Maharashtra. It is one of the important preliminary examination point. Do note it down. The Namdur Madhameshwar Bird Sanctuary is located in the Nashik district of Maharashtra. And that is what all about this slide. And now let us move on to next article. This is the image caption given in the page number 3 of Hindu newspaper. And this image caption contains one important preliminary examination point. That is, the Machiya Biological Park is located in the Jodhpur region of Rajasthan. It is one of the important information from the perspective of the map reading questions which can be asked in the UPSC preliminary examination. That is what all about this image caption. And now let us move on to next page. This is the page number 5 of Hindu newspaper, and this page contains one important article from the perspective of the UPSC examination. This article is very much important from the perspective of General Studies paper 1 of UPSC Civil Services examination, as well as from the perspective of the preliminary examination. This article is discussing about the Mahamachhabhisheka. The Mahamachhabhisheka is a religious function which is celebrated once in 12 years of time period. During the Mahamachhabhisheka, the anointment of the Gomateshwara statue will be taken place. This Gomateshwara statue is located in the Vindhyagiri hills of Shravanabelagola. Vindhyagiri hills is one of the 2 hills which is present in the Shravanabelagola. The other hill which is present in Shravanabelagola is the Chandragiri hills. And the Shravanabelagola is one of the major pilgrimage center of South India. It is important pilgrimage center for both Jainism as well as Buddhism. This year, the Mahamachhabhisheka celebration will be carried out for 19 days. That is, the function will be started in the month of February 7 to February 26. From the examination point of view, you have to note down the location of Vindhyagiri hills in your geographical map. Apart from that, you also have to note down which king has constructed the Gomateshwara statue in the Vindhyagiri hills. These are some of the important valuable points which can be asked in the UPSC preliminary examination. That is what all about this article, and now let us move on to next article. This is page number 7 of Hindu newspaper, and this page contains two important articles. This is the first important article of this page, and this article is discussing about the pod taxi scheme. This pod taxi scheme is also known as the Personal Rapid Transit Scheme. In short, we used to say it as PRT scheme. Actually, the PRT is an advanced public transport which uses automated electric pod cars to provide the taxi-like demand-responsive feeder and shuttle services for a small group of travelers. In general, it is 5 people at a time. This pod taxi or the Personal Rapid Transit is a green mode of uninterrupted journey because the traffic can be avoided by using this service. The investment for this pod taxi scheme or the Personal Rapid Transit scheme is expected to be around rupees 4,000 crore. Earlier, this project is delayed due to some hurdles which were put forth by the recommendations of the Niti Aayog. Actually, the Niti Aayog has asked the bidders to create a sample 1 kilometer pilot stretch to check the efficiency of the pod taxi scheme. But the bidders were unable to create the 1 kilometer stretch. As a result, this project has delayed a lot. After that, the formation of high-powered committee to lay down the safety and other specification also takes a lot of time. As a result, this project is delayed further. But at present, the high-level panel has given its nod for the creation of the pod taxi scheme. This high-level panel on the pod taxi scheme has recommended the bidders to strictly follow the safety standard which were prescribed by the American body, that is the Automated People Mover Standards of the United States of America. This APM standard is prepared by the American Society of Civil Engineers. This APM standard provides for the minimum requirement for an acceptable level of safety and performance for the Personal Rapid Transit operation. This minimum requirement includes the requirement of the design, construction, operation and maintenance of the Personal Rapid Transit system. It also includes the vehicle arrival audio and then the video visual warning system, the platform sloping, the evacuation of misaligned vehicle, the surveillance or CCTV camera system, audio communication, the emergency call points and fire protection among others were also present in this Personal Rapid Transit scheme. This pilot project is initially going to be constructed in the 12.3 km stretch of Delhi-Gurugram pilot corridor. It will be constructed in a public-private partnership model. And this Personal Rapid Transit is already available in the stretch of London's Heathrow Airport, Morgantown and the Manchester City. That is what all the information given in this article, and now let us move on to next article. This is the second important article of this page, and this article is discussing about triple talaq issue. Actually, the triple talaq is a mechanism by using which the Muslim husband can be able to divorce his wife. Recently, the Supreme Court of India has declared that the practice of instant triple talaq is unconstitutional and void. Even after this verdict, the practice of triple talaq is still carried out in many parts of India. Especially it is highest in the states of the Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. So in this background, the Union government has decided to bring in a legislation on this regard. For that reason, the Union government has brought the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill. This Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill of 2017 is likely to be tabled on the Lok Sabha next week. So in this background, some of the important provisions of Muslim Women Bill of 2017 is it has provided for the imprisonment of 3 years for the Muslim husband who pronounces the instant triple talaq. And also it has provided certain protections to the Muslim woman with respect to the subsistence allowances from his husband, and also it has provided the provision for safeguard of the minor children of the couple. In this scenario, the social activists who were working against the instant triple talaq were stating that the Muslim woman protection of rights on marriage bill of 2017 is lacking the holistic approach. They are demanding that a new bill have to be submitted which have to focus on the gender justice. That is, it has to focus on the issues of the triple talaq. Along with that, it have to focus on issues like the polygamy, the age of marriage, and also it have to focus on the halala practice. Here, the halala practice is a kind of diverse mechanism which were employed by the women. It is a practice where a woman is made to consummated nikah with another man in order to go back to her former husband. All these provisions have to be included in this Muslim Woman Bill of 2017. That is the demand of the social rights activists. In order to satisfy all the aspirations of the social rights activists in this regard, this draft bill have to be referred to the Standing Committee of Parliament, and the Standing Committee have to look through all the issues in a gender just manner. Only by then all the issue of Muslim woman can be rectified and the intention of the bill will be perfectly executed. That is what provided in this article. And now let us move on to next article. This is the page number 11 of Hindu newspaper, and this page contains 2 important articles. This is the first important article of this page, and this article is discussing about the compensatory afforestation fund. Whenever an industrial project is carried out in violation of the environmental principles, or whenever an industrial project is carried out by deforestation, then in such scenario, the penalty will be levied from such kind of a project. This penalty is right now accumulated to around rupees 42,000 crore. In order to disperse this 42,000 crore for the afforestation project, the Supreme Court of India has provided an order in the year of 2009. Under this order, the Supreme Court of India had directed the Union Government to create an independent authority to disperse the fund. In order to honor this order, the Union Government has created the Compensatory and Afforestation Bill, and it has been passed in the Parliament. The main aim of this Compensatory and Afforestation Fund Bill is to create the Compensatory Afforestation Fund Management and Planning Authority. The bill is recently passed in the Rajya Sabha, and it makes the states to receive the 42,000 crore which is accumulated as a compensatory afforestation fund in the Union Government. Even though this bill have been passed like a year ago, but still now there is no proper rules is created for the dispersal of fund. Right now, the states were receiving the money only under the ad hoc mechanism, because there is no rules have been framed yet for the proper dispersal of this compensatory afforestation fund which is accumulated in the Union Government. Right now, the Environmental Ministry is the nodal ministry for formulation of these rules for the dispersal of the compensatory afforestation fund. For that reason, it conducts the meeting which includes the members from states, union territories, and also it includes the members from Finance Ministry, and then the Finance Division of Environmental Ministry, and also it includes the Comptroller and Auditor General for framing the rules. This consultation process is what taking a lot of time. As a result, there is a delay for creation of the rules for dispersal of the fund to the states. Apart from that, this CAMPA bill is also facing a lot of objections and uncertainties were surrounding this bill. One such objection is the CAMPA bill provides for the National Compensatory Fund as well as the State Compensatory Fund. This provision leads to the heated debate in the Parliament last year. And apart from that, some of the objections against this CAMPA bill were this CAMPA bill is providing the greater power to the forest bureaucracy than the resident tribal people. It is the first objection. And then this Campo Bell is also can be utilized as a means for violation of tribal rights. It is also one of the issue. And then the Gram Panchayats were not given the final say in deciding what kind of forest could be grown in that particular area. These are some of the objections which were put forth against this Campo Bell. For these objections, the Environmental Ministry has stated that all the ambiguities which were surrounding the Campo Bell can be addressed by the rules which were formulated after the due consultation of all the stakeholders. That is what all about this article. And now let us move on to next article. This is the second important article of this page, and this article is discussing about the new lakes which were formed in the Tibetan region. Recently, a 6.4 magnitude of earthquake has struck the Tibetan region. Due to this earthquake, 3 huge artificial lakes have been created in the Tibetan region. These 3 lakes have accumulated a large amount of water from the Yarlung Shampo, that is from the Brahmaputra river valley. The size and volume of these 3 lakes were not yet known. So as a result, the volume of water which is accumulated in these 3 lakes were not yet identified. In this scenario, there is a speculation or the concern is arising due to the fact that whenever the massive accumulation of the water has overflown or whenever the lakes have merged with one another, then in those scenarios, the flooding may take place on the Indian side, because these 3 huge artificial lakes were formed in the eastern section of India-China boundary. As a result, any kind of disaster which is caused due to this 3 huge artificial lakes will directly impact the Xiang region of Arunachal Pradesh, and also it will directly impact the Brahmaputra floodplain of Assam. In this scenario, on understanding the concern of the Indian side, the Chinese Foreign Ministry has stated that the China will communicate to India regarding the status of 3 huge artificial lakes via the existing channels. That is what all about this article, and now let us move on to next page. This is page number 13 of Hindu newspaper, and this page contains one important article. This article is very much important from the perspective of General Studies Paper 3 of UPSC Civil Services examination. Recently, in the month of November 2016, the Indian Prime Minister has announced the demonetization of the higher value currencies, that is rupees 500 and rupees 1000 rupees notes were completely demonetized in India. Due to this demonetization, the entire economy has taken a huge hit. After the demonetization move, the Indian government has announced the goods and service tax implementation. Due to the implementation of goods and service tax, the entire economy has once again gone through the pitfall. As a result, the growth of Indian economy has slumped to 5.7%. This is the lowest growth rate which is recorded in past 4 quarters. After this slump, the Indian economy has witnessed the 6.3% of growth in the quarter ending September month. Due to this turnaround, the Indian economy is now progressing towards the better days. Even though the Indian economy has witnessed a lot of ups and downs in these years, the Indian economy has caught up with the economy of France and the UK. Yes, earlier, under the survey of Center for Economy and Business Research, the Indian economy is standard at the 7th position all over the world. But this Center for Economics and Business Research has calculated that the India will reach the 5th place by the year of 2018, and also India will become the 3rd largest economy in the year of 2032. That is the finding of Center for Economy and Business Research. This organization is a London-based organization and it conducts the annual ranking every year. It states that by the year of 2018, the India will overtake the economy of France and the UK. That is what all about this article, and now let us move on to next page. This is the page number 14 of Hindu newspaper, and this page contains one important article. This article is very much important from the perspective of General Studies Paper 3 of UPSC Civil Services Examination, because this article is discussing about the waterways, which means it is discussing about the infrastructure development of India. As a result, it is very much important from the perspective of GS3 of UPSC Civil Services Examination. This article is discussing about the Jalmarg Vikas project. This Jalmarg Vikas project is initially announced in the government budget of 2015 to 2016. This Jalmarg Vikas project is mainly intended for the national integration and to overcome the navigational challenges which is present in India, thereby providing the huge amount of prosperity to nation. At present, the Indian transportation is primarily dominated by the roadways as well as by the railways. So, in order to reduce the congestion which is faced in the roadways and railways, this Jalmarg Vikas project is created by the Union government to divert some of the congestion to the waterways. For developing the Jalmarg Vikas project, the Indian Waterways Authority of India is created. The Indian Waterways Authority of India is created in the year of 1986. It is the nodal agency for the implementation of the Jalmarg Vikas project and it is a statutory body. At present, this Jalmarg Vikas project is primarily concentrated on development of the National Waterways 1 and the project which is envisaged the development of 1380 km long fairway between the Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh and the Haldia in the West Bengal. The estimated cost of this 1380 km long fairway is 5,369 crore. It will be completed by the year of 2022 to 2023. The main funding for this project is provided by the World Bank. Apart from that, the fund for the Indian Waterways Authority of India is generated by way of bonds as well as by way of the allocation of funds from the Central Road Fund for Development and Maintenance of National Waterways. This project includes the construction of multimodal terminals, jetties, river information system, channel marketing, navigational lock, river training and conservancy works. Once all the construction is completed, then the National Waterways 1 is eligible to operate the commercial navigation and large vessels. Apart from the development of National Waterway 1, this Jalmarg Vikas project is also concentrated on the multi-modal terminal at Varanasi and also the similar kind of terminal at the Sahibganj, Jharkhand. And this Jalmarg Vikas project is also focused on the development of Haldia port. It is a 61-acre area and it is taken for 30 years of lease for the development of terminal, and the cost of this project is expected to be around 517 crores. That is what all about this article, and now let us move on to next page. This is the page number 8 of Hindu newspaper, that is the editorial column, and it contains 3 important articles. The first important article is discussing about the World Inequality Report. It is released recently and it is one of the important articles. You have to go through it. The second important article is related to the Indian Patents Act. It is also one of the important article, and the third article is related to the North Korea issue. All these 3 articles were very important articles from the perspective of UPSC Civil Services Mains examination. Due to the shortage of time, we are not in a position to explain this article in this video lecture. So we kindly request you to go through it on your own. That is what all about today's newspaper analysis video lecture. And for further video lectures or notes regarding the UPSC Civil Services examination, do download our official Android app from the Google Play Store. All the best for your future examinations. Thank you.